gentlemen, we have one more match for you here today. The Shanghai Dragons going up against the home crowds team. LA Valiant coming back in for stage 3. We already saw Florida Mayhem earlier on. Some more changes on the side of the Valiant. We had those trades going back and forth, so we'll see if it's going to be enough for them to find success where Florida could not.
Yeah, very true. Let's take a look at our standings, though, to kind of remind everyone where these two teams stand. If you look at Valiant, they're down at 3-11, definitely on the rise, but they've got a lot of climbing left to do. The Dragons find themselves at an even 7-7, just above the cutoff there. So, you know, looking to continue that momentum that they've had since the beginning of the season, taking a first win now. They've got 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great season so far for the Shanghai Dragons. You and I, of course, casting that first victory that they were able to pick up versus Boston. Then making their first stage playoffs here in stage 2. It's been a fantastic level of improvement for these guys so far.
And they also broke the streak of the San Francisco Shock after the golden stage. Ended up losing the series in the end, but this team looks much improved, and this is a meta that really suits them now that Sombra is so much on the rise across the board.
Yeah, and we have to see how their opponents are going to do. Valiant, like I had mentioned before, had those trades coming in with Florida Mayhem, so a bit of a different lineup going to be here on stage today.
That's right. Fact Fiction being the big one everyone is looking at right now, but you've got Shax in McGravy coming in this roster as well. So changing it up, adding a few more Western players to the roster, trading Fate away. So the dynamic in terms of communication you expect to be a little bit more streamlined with more Western players on this roster. You've got also Packing10 and Promise, of course, Packing10 being interim coach. So, you know, it feels like it's a good thing they've got an interim coach, but you're still wondering, you know, who's going to fill Moon's shoes in the end? And we don't know the answer to that question just yet.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's been a pretty much upward trajectory from the Valiant compared to stage 1. Weren't able to pick up a match victory. Then coming back into stage 2, showing some improvement. Now with these changes, does that further improve things or does it reset? We're gonna have to find out as we go ahead and bring them out on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the LA Valiant.
Even through times of hardship and a lot of struggle for this team, they are always improving week after week. They've had a long break before the second half of the season here. The crowd's going to support them no matter what in terms of results here, as you can see. So there's a lot of comfort, I think, that comes with that when you're going to a match like this one against the Shanghai Dragons. Your style is good against their style as well. Take a look at
style.
Yeah,
New jerseys. Looking pretty snazzy.
Pretty cool, but new as well. Fact Fiction on the starting lineup here, so a lot to prove. It's been a while since we've seen this guy in the Overwatch League. He's kind of been in purgatory. Let's see if he can bring it back.
And see how he's going to be faring up there in that front line alongside Space. Going to have to try to get through Gamsu and the rest of the Shanghai Dragons. Let's go ahead and introduce them, bring them on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shanghai Dragons.
From first win to first playoffs, a team that just broke the streak of the San Francisco Shock coming into stage 3. They led the Sombra meta in the Overwatch League. They've run it more than anyone else. They've popularized it. It's now meta worldwide, outside of the Overwatch League, especially in contenders. And that's what they're looking to, you have to imagine, starting stage 3 off lead with. And they will have Ding on the starting roster. He's the Sombra player to look at right now. DM coming off his win in the Widowmaker duel as well.
Yep.
A lot of eyes on him recently because of that.
Yeah, it's been looking fantastic with that hit scan coming through. Maybe we get some more Widowmaker action to come in. We saw plenty of it in our last series, but with Happy in game, but maybe DM will be able to deliver on a little bit more of that Widow action here for us. But I mean, this is still an uphill battle for the LA Valiant. A lot to prove. Florida Mayhem trying to look a bit more cohesive with Fate in that front line. But now for Valiant, Fact Fiction coming back in.
So Fact Fiction competed for the Outlaws last year. This is not his first time playing in the Overwatch League, but he didn't play that often. Then didn't get into the 2019 season until very late. So he's been between teams. He's been playing in contenders. He's one of the more favored Western players. Everyone wanted this guy to be in Overwatch League. Now he gets to prove himself again.
Well, wish granted. Let's go ahead and see what we got here on our map set presented by Toyota. Oasis Paris again, then Numbani gonna be coming through for hybrid. We can round things out with Gibraltar.
Indeed.
It'll be Gardens to start things off here.
And also Sombra to start things off, but Youngjin on the Doomfist, this is certainly a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, he could run it. We've seen him do it plenty of times in the past. Sometimes for way too long. I don't need him to swap off of that from time to time. Seems like it's not going to be the case, though.
Also, the Sombra Doomfist very popular in Korea still, especially by Element Mystic, but we will not see it. Will be the Brigida to start things off versus the regular Reinhardt Zarya from the Valiant.
Kind of going up the sidelines here. Now meeting in the middle, up onto the high ground. Gamsu pushing forward to get a lot of damage here in the front line.
Huge.
Stay alive for a little bit longer, and Coma just knocks back Fiction right off the side of the map. Now KSF going to be taken down, and DM able to beam space right out of that mech. So a very solid start for the Shanghai Dragons. LA Valiant, time to reset and go again.
In fact, Fiction, a very aggressive main tank player, much more known for his Reinhardt than his Winston. Gets punished for it. A little bit of an overextension there as Coma knocks him off. And now the Dragons are going to hold this high ground. Get an easy first flip. The EMP is going to make it even tougher. The Valiant want to flip it before that's ready, but it's a very slim window to hit.
Already on the way in, taking a bit of damage here. That Reinhardt, the barrier as well, getting harassed down. They're going to be translocating over to the side, perhaps. Just took that one down for safety, but front line already decimated for the Valiant. As Back Fiction and Space gets knocked out of that mech. Chase forward all the way back towards the spawn here. Shanghai Dragons, they're looking for some stagger kills. Not going to be able to find too much, but they will go ahead, heal back, maintain control. It was 5 ultimates rather, ready to go.
Not necessarily an ideal situation for an EMP because the Valiant, as you say, retreated. Ding gets to hold it. They are about to have the big 6, all 6 ultimates, and the EMP is the only one they really need to hold this push. Here it comes.
Gonna be a little bit further behind. Ding drops down, waits for a little bit longer, then goes ahead, uses that EMP. Catches out 2, but Grim does manage to use the Transcend to try to keep them alive. Now the Graviton Surge going to be coming through from DM, and that's going to lead to 2 kills already for the Shanghai Dragons. Make it a 3rd. There's a Fire Strike, hits, and Gamsu starts swinging away. Space goes off the side. Realistically, one more chance here for the Valiant to try to get this flip before we hit 99.
They did use a lot of ultimates, the Shanghai Dragons, but I think that's okay, given if they can get that 99, if they can reach that goal, and they should be able to delay, especially with the sound barrier coming up, and get another EMP, get another grab. You're going to, you know, what we like to call one fight territory, meaning one fight win means you win the round. So they're sitting pretty up here on the high ground. Valiant are gonna have to use a lot to break this.
Yep, rally out from Youngjin, drop down comes through Gamsu trying to stay alive. Beat gives him the shield for a little bit longer, but Grim is able to go ahead. Left click him down to find that kill. Now another EMP coming out from Ding. Catches all 6 members. They need to follow up. If he manages to find one, it's KSF does get eliminated. The grab from above DM. Just beaming him down straight over top of the Rhine shield. That's going to be the team kill. That's going to be the round going to Shanghai 100-0.
Really nice fight win for the Shanghai Dragons. It looked like, you know, the sound barrier wasn't going to be enough to turn the fight. It looked like they were just going to simply try to delay to 99, but that EMP is all you need oftentimes in those fights to turn the tide, especially when the Valiant have to approach using their support ultimates. They have to approach using all their tools. As long as you survive for the EMP, you can win almost any fight. And Shanghai Dragons, you know, and the rest of the world right now is looking to the Sombra. You know, Super has, you know, put his thoughts out there about what he thinks about the hero. The fact of the matter is, Sombra is very powerful right now. EMP is powerful. Players are good at building it, better than they've ever been before. And you've got to respect that. Kareem's hitting the trances, but sometimes it's not enough.
Charge forward, gonna be that Rhine v Rhine off the bat as anticipated here now that we move over onto University. Activation juggle right up into the front, but Gamsu getting focused down. Races the shield, makes it back through that little choke here. Entry of the point and does stay alive. DM, however, gonna be eliminated. KSF finding that first kill of the round. Starts looking very good here as he follows up for a double. Valiant finally gonna be getting on the board.
This is gonna be a great start for the Valiant. If they can get any stagger kills here, it would be massive. They won't be able to. I'm gonna back off now. Remember, the whole plan now for the Valiant when they get this flip first is to try to deal with the Sombra. The Sombra is much more powerful on the defense, especially to get that first flip, to get the faster EMP. They can build trance faster here.
Aggressive push coming in. You already kind of mentioned Back Fiction being that aggro Rhine player. Shatter comes in from Gamsu first, though. Kills Agility's on the half hammer drop. Back Fiction goes down. Gamsu will trade his life for that one, but a grab comes out from KSF, but it doesn't net them anything. Still 2 members dead. Agilities and Back Fiction just now coming back in, but the kills now shifting back into the favor of the Shanghai Dragons, continuing on that path as they get the flip.
This is the worst case scenario for the Valiant. You mentioned, you echoed my sentiment. I'll echo it back. Back Fiction aggressive, but causes them to get shattered there. And then they took the fight because they wanted to fight before EMP was ready. They wanted to fight off the point, but now they've lost control and the EMP is ready. They've lost the grab, which was used previously. And this is a great spot to EMP now, being unscouted. If he could hit Kareem, it would be massive. He's detected.
Detected now. They get him out of there. One flail swing comes through. So he has to use that translocator.
Look at Kareem hiding to the right side. He does not want to get caught by that EMP. That would spell disaster. That would be an easily won team fight.
Bomb to try to open things up. Space just going to be dumping that one in. Lands on top of Gamsu's shield, so he'll be fine. Ding, however, caught out. They get the stun on him for a moment, but they cannot finish him off. So they open up for a moment. Get that Earth Shatter in, and Luffy will be using that Transcendence.
Into the
possible opening here.
He fakes him out.
Get that on in time. Makes him, as you say, Transcendence out from Karev. Now the EMP will come in. That hacks out. 4 KSF's already gone. Things continue to look very good for the Shanghai Dragons. Yet will be taken down from exchange on the Zarias as the LA Valiant desperately try to put this one back into their favor. Beats from both sides, but Back Fiction going to be taken down. Gamsu still perfectly healthy, still holding on to a shatter, and I don't think he's going to have to use it.
That was a really nice fake by Ding. He translocated over the wall, made it look like he was going to trance, and he was in line of sight to hit Kareem, so Kareem uses the trance early, thinks he's blocking it, but then he comes back and EMPs later. There's a grab.
Going to be taken away, Space. Coming up clutch here, but is that enough for the Valiant trying to get this flip as we approach 80% for the Shanghai Dragons? Shatter still held. Gamsu dangerously low, has to peel off the point. The flip will come through. Valiant in control for now, but how long will that last?
The longer the fight goes too in these situations where it's so scrappy, the more EMP you build.
Grab out from KSF, catches him here at the choke. Gonna be Young Chin taken down, Gamsu falling low. Stays alive for a little bit longer as they go ahead and peel their way back over towards the spawn. Valiant, again, showing that aggression, playing for it. This cost them last time, but for now, they had that man advantage, so they can play that way.
They got the trance out of Luffy. That's the biggest thing they got. I mean, obviously they delayed the push, but this was an eco push. Here's the EMP setup.
Yep, straight in, over the top, catches 4 members, like for Rip. He's got that Transcendence. Hammer drop coming in from Gamsu. Goes in for the charge. It's going to be Agility's taken down. Space's bomb, unable to find anything. Gamsu does get eliminated. Karev, they just divide Young Jin. Now DM taken down. LA Valiant holding out hope at 70%.
Being aggressive like this is one of the best ways to deal with Sombra because you're so reliant on taking perfect fights around the EMP. It's a very idealistic play style, and when you're forced to take fights that are not set up the way you like them to be, they get a bit scrappy. The EMP doesn't get value, and the Valiant are taking the fight to him. It works really well with the Back Fiction's aggressive style also. Also the knockback.
Yeah, he's looking to go ahead and push Gamsu into the middle of his team. Doesn't quite find that right click. Rally rolling here from Agilities. We hit 99%. LA Valiant looking to take us to a third round, try to settle things on City Center. Jim going low. That's going to force out the Transcendence. Grab now coming in on top of it. Shanghai Dragons staying alive for a little bit longer. Space takes away the M's. Denies that completely out of the fight, but that Fiction's still going to fall. Beat comes in from Coma. Trying to keep things rolling right as Karev gets that Transcendence online, but he's just not in a position to join in and try to keep his teammates alive. Said will be taken down, knows that they have one more chance. If they can get somebody there to delay, they might be able to rejoin as 6 and take this fight.
It's going to be hard though against this EMP. Karev is now delayed as well as respawn. They're going to have to come in without him, which makes him vulnerable. There's no way to block this EMP. They know he's not there.
Yeah, they need somebody to tag. Back Fiction instantly just going to get belted down. Custa dead while wall riding. Space makes it over onto the point. He is all on his lonesome. Doesn't have any backup really. Bomb up over the top, translocate out to keep himself safe, but Space been hacked, taken down. Baby Diva can't make it back into the mag. Shatter comes in, but it's not going to be enough. 2 rounds to Shanghai Dragons. That's Oasis in the books.
The very end of things, a classy dismantling of the Valiant, knowing Karev wasn't there, hitting the big EMP. A nice start here for Shanghai.
Very nicely done. Valiant going to be looking to tie things up when we come back for the break for Assault.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Огонь по готовности!
My EMP is almost charged.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Shanghai Dragons, able to take Oasis with a 2-0 victory. But Valiant not going down without a fight. Some over-aggressive issues, but overall, not too bad, considering the recent swaps.
You know, the aggressive style works well against Sombra in general, and they caught Ding a few times. They caught the Shanghai Dragons into positions where they forced them to use the EMP, not how they like to. They don't get those ideal EMPs, but at the end of the day, it's just too much for them still. And they are getting punished by Fact Fiction's overextensions. And, you know, we're seeing Koma get the knockoff, we're seeing him get picked early in fights, we're seeing him get hacked early in fights. And it's a good way to play, especially when you're playing in Shanghai style, but sometimes it can backfire, as we've seen already.
Well, we'll be moving into Paris for our second map. And you think back to the regular season, the playoffs. Shanghai Dragons have a lot of experience on this map, particularly against the Shock, where they were able to set records that were then broken very quickly thereafter by the Shock. But getting that full hold in the playoffs, that was the damn impressive thing.
Yeah. 4 maps to the 2 of the Valiant, neither of them having the winning record, but yes, a lot of experience on this map. For the Valiant, we will see Kariv go to the Ana, one of the heroes he's played quite a lot this season, over the likes of the Zenyatta, especially on hybrid and assault maps, point A. We like to see him run, or he likes to run it there. The Dragon's still flexing around, but I think we will see the scout here from Ding. Very likely will keep him on the Sombra, but we might see swaps otherwise, as you can see here. He's actually going to go to the D-Va, not going to be running the Sombra this time. Oh, well.
Okay.
I'm just going to wait until they start fighting.
He's trying to keep you on your toes, getting ahead of yourself, and ahead of him, apparently. But here we go, fight gonna be breaking out space on an awkward position, but somehow manages to escape. It's slippery there with that D.Va mech. Does escape the safety, but now the high ground here has been conceded over to the side of Shanghai. The fire strike actually makes it through onto Agility. He's taking him down. Very solid start here for the side of the Shanghai Dragons as they continue to advance over to point A. Space hack out, KSF taken down. Gamsu just pushing forward fearlessly into the building here on the side. You can cleans up some kills, and again, this is going to be a massive time bank, 7 minutes.
You can see the value of the Discord orb that comes through for the Dragon. So you talk about support, you know, differences here, Luffy and Kariv. No bio grenade connection. I think that's part of the reason why Ding swapped back to D.Va for just a moment, was because he was thinking, I might need to eat a grenade, but the grenade didn't really come through. The bio grenade didn't really affect the Dragons on their approach. The extra damage coming through from Luffy certainly did find them more success. They have a grab ready. And there's no transcendence. There it goes.
Yeah, aggro grab coming through here from DM, catching him off in the flank. Nano boost thrown through onto Fact Fiction, but Craven Agility is both going to be taken down now. Space knocked out of the back, and KSF eliminated. Hack forward here onto the Rhine. That is going to be the team kill coming through. 1 tick already snatched up with the Shanghai Dragons, and they still nearly have 6.5 minutes in the time bank. Wolf, Agility's dropping in. Hack instantly coming through from Ding. Trying to lock him up. He's hiding around the statue so very well, buys a bit more time. But we know how it goes, one after the other. At this point, you usually get picked off. Trying to get the charge there, get somebody out of the grab, get that kill, but Fiction dead before he can complete it. And that's gonna be it, 6 minutes even on the clock. Shanghai Dragons looking alive.
Can't blame the Valiant though. You know, you put almost any team in that situation with the ults that Shanghai had, and they are not going to be able to stop the double cap. They had a grab, they had an EMP. What are you going to do, Achilleos?
Well, tall order. Let's see what the Valiant can serve up when we come back for their half.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Огонь по готовности. Огонь по готовности.
Pass into the iris.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. LA Valiant staring down the barrel of a 6-minute time bank set by the Shanghai Dragons here as they double-capped Paris with relative ease.
The thing is, when you lose A that quickly and Shanghai walk in with one of the best Sombras in the league, and a Grav, and a Shatter, and you don't have a Transcendence because you ran Reeve on the Ana, there's just no realistic way to expect even the Vancouver Titans, the Shocker, New York Excelsior to hold that. I mean, you put them in that spot with those same numbers, it's unrealistic to expect they would hold. Shanghai winning that point A is what allows them to snowball that, and that's why a lot of teams are running Sombra on A on Assault, because you can then snowball super hard to get that massive time bank. If you win the first fight defensively, as Shanghai will now look to do, then you're going to have the same advantage where you're going to have the Sombra ult first, then you're going to defend a few pushes, and then suddenly there's no way the Valiant can match your time bank. So it's a, you know, it's a pretty ideal way to look at things.
Well, that's a big number.
That's a big number. But let's see how the Valiant try to approach this. Right now, they're showing us the Kareev Hog, which we've seen a lot. Kareev's always been a good Roadhog player. Don't know if they'll actually stick with this. Looks like they're going to swap it.
Yeah, now we'll just be changing it up as he moves back over onto the Zenyatta.
Notice the positioning here of the Sombra for the Shanghai Dragons, looking to harass the supports.
Yeah, it's spotted out. Translocates out in time, though. Only builds up 25%. Decent little bit of harassment there at the beginning. Shift into the police station right now for the Valiant as they try to control that high ground. Shanghai playing around corners, keep themselves safe for now. Letting the Valiant come to them. Still shift around the back now.
Problem is Fiction's lost almost all of his shield. Look at Gamsu's damage, 85% of his shatter. That shield could break at any moment, and we could see a massive shatter in this choke.
And he's letting it reset here. Move back over to the other side.
Smart move. That was a really risky situation. Good call by the Valiant to back out that way.
I mean, patient play necessary, even though the time bank from Shanghai is so huge. If they just rush into it, it could cost them dearly. You see that this works out quite nicely so far, as Gamsu will get taken down just before you can get that Earth Shatter on line. Now Youngjin eliminated as well. LA Valiant looking at like they're going to have a very nice time bank as well. About to bump up to 6.5 minutes.
Now, they will not have the same potential to snowball, unless they had gotten some stagger kills, which they were looking for. They will not have the same potential to snowball that the Dragons did. Luffy's got a Transcendence, Ding's got EMP.
Oh, you cap that space, yeah!
And now, KSF is going to have to work towards a grab.
And now Gamsu's been pushed out. Bubble comes through just in time. The block is up. Nicely done from Agility's good reaction. Gamsu's still going to be living though, but they managed to force out the Transcendence here from Lumpy. KSF is 18% away from that grab. 6 minutes on the clock, so not able to beat the time make from Shanghai Dragons, but still a lot of potential here for the Valiant to establish a very nice time.
The EMP trades for Transcendence, and if they can defend this, they're in a great spot, the Dragons.
Trans either for Caribbean Custa holding on to that sound barrier. Coleman just a little bit further behind. Grab going to be locked in. DM manages to catch a couple members. Beat comes through, answering grab now there. Stun coming out, looking for Youngkin. Trying to turn around and get the shatter, but they managed to shut back Fiction down. KSF on the other side though.
Huge plays.
Trying to bring back some kills. Managed to come up with 2 the second tick, getting ready to arrive for the Valiant, just shy of 5.5 minutes. It's only going to be Gamsu. He cannot get there in time. Very nicely done. The Valiant, they bounced back in a big way.
They dealt with the EMP reasonably well, and they countered the grab with the sound barrier, came in aggressively, got those opening picks. It looked like an unlikely scenario to see the double cap, but they somehow pulled it off.
That they did. 5:23 to 6 minutes. Let's see what happens in OT in just a second. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Get strapped in because we might have several rounds of overtime coming at you. 2 points capped on either side, but plenty of time remaining for both of these teams.
So there's been a lot of discussion and debate about whether Ana is appropriate versus Sombra or not. The nano boost isn't really going to save you in most cases versus EMP. But the real thing I think the Valley are looking at with Karib on this Ana is if they don't have a diva, they can't stop my bio grenades from connecting where I want them to be. Goes for the sleep in this case. May just swap off, we'll see. He will.
Spy checking.
But it's, it's one of those things that...
Oh!
They knew he was going to swap. He knew he was going to swap. He calls it out. He sees the sleep out in the beginning. He's like, oh, you're going to swap? You're going to be behind everyone else? I gotcha. Sick play by Ding.
Yeah, they didn't spy check.
Play.
Didn't spy check hard enough. Ding just staying around, man. Just a fine grip, builds up 30%. Is bashed, but makes it out of there again. The reactions from Valiant on the backs of these stuns to kill the Sombra just hasn't quite been there yet. Not everyone is turning and focus firing the Sombra. Push up here on the mid ground now. Space. They melted down out of that mech, trying to hide in behind that Fiction shield. They will drop down just to try to get pushed back up.
Shield bash to dodge the fire strike from Youngjin. He's styling over here.
Grab on the other side, looking for the hack here is Ding. Shields race though, can't really get much. Be under a little bit of fire. Valiant trying to successfully make their way inside. Seems like they are able to do so. Ding still just trying to play around those corners. Get some shots in, now he's stuck. Has to translocate up to the high ground. Self-save here looking for the moment. EMP getting ready to come through, now online. Have a shatter as well, so some combo potential. Ready for the side of the Shanghai Dragons on this defense.
He wants Karib if he can find him, but it's really difficult to get in there when everyone is stacked up in a tiny room.
Down to once, can he find him again?
That's the question.
Over on to the point, we'll just go ahead and use the Transcendence. Will comes through, only hacked out one of the healers. Stops Custom, but cannot stop Karib. But now, no Transcendence for DM's potential grab.
There it is.
We're going to be seeing 2 coming out. Gamsu managed to stay alive. The sound barrier in from the LA Valiant. Stay alive in the fight for a little bit longer. Now Coleman going to be using a beat of his own. A lot of damage going forward. Agility's nearly taken down. Coleman goes in deep with a melee hit to get rid of the enemy brig. Shatter comes in. The bombs are from space, but Gamsu gets in front of his team, raises the shield, and keeps them safe in the fight. He himself, however, will be taken down. Custa and Kalma going back and forth, taking down their opposing Reinhardts, but the Shanghai Dragons will be coming out on top in the end. The Valiant, not a single tick gained.
Yep. Sniper here, DM, not just on the Widowmaker, but on the right click, so the high energy Zarya gets the kill there on the retreating Lucio, and now is just going to get back up on the high ground. Ding's ready for another EMP. He's not going to try to look for a backline pick this time. He's just going to try to farm the last bit of that ultimate charge here with his team. He's not looking to hack. He's not looking to harass. He just wants 10 more %.
Yeah, and he will have it. There's a few more to go. Rallies out from Youngjin. EMP instantly thrown down. Catches all 6 of members of the Valiant. Crip somehow staying alive, actually. Does not get taken down. Has a Transcendence. Will use it, but it's after KSF has been eliminated. Grab in from DM. Wraps up behind them. Catches them a little bit off guard, and Agility's going to be taken down. The Valiant probably wishing that they still had that Transcendence ready to go. Shanghai Dragons hold them off again, and now we're down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
One of the reasons why Sombra is so powerful in this meta in particular is because you know once the trance is gone, you can grab. You know, the response is the same for 2 ultimates.
Yep. Grab coming through, DM going lower and lower. They're trying to focus fire. They will be able to do so, and Youngjin taken down at the same time. So 2 picks over the side of Valiant. Shanghai Dragons feel like they're going to be crumbling a little bit here with this defense.
This is a huge opportunity. Look at how KSF is gatekeeping the rest of the members from coming back and tagging the point as well while getting free ult charge. This is definitely going to be an A cap here. As fast as possible, they've got 3 members. 2 of them are going to have one of the fastest returns, and they've got the speed boost here for Fact Fiction. 3 members to cap it as fast as possible. The rest of the members trying to farm ult charge on B. You know, I doubted them on the double cap last time, but this time, you know, there's an EMP ready again.
Tempting, pushing forward. Spots him out, sees Karib, doesn't use the EMP. Just checking a little bit here. Maybe he thought that Karib had the Transcendence back up and was trying to bait it either way.
I think you're right on that one.
Just jumps out to safety. Still has it for the fight. Now is going to be using it, but the beat comes through from Kusta to try to keep them alive. Gamsu going to be taken down, unable to use his Shatter. Now has to wait to try to return. Shatter out, Fact Fiction, manages to catch Youngjin. The beat comes through from Coleman to try to keep him alive for a little bit longer, and the Transcendence is used by Karib. Bomb from space here in the middle of the point. Youngjin raises the shield, keeps himself alive. DM uses the grab over here onto the pillar, but Valiant, they're ticking up on the point in the meantime. Shatter in from behind. Kusta going to be taken down as Gamsu charges over onto the point. Grab in from KSF, however, and he's got 100 energy. Leads to a double kill for Fact Fiction. Grip's going to be taken down. He's going to be going the way of the Valiant right now in the kill feed. As they try to get this cap rolling through with some time remaining in the bank. Transcendence out from
EMP.
looking to be rejoined. Ready, EMP, ready to go as you say. This thing comes back in. Playing up over onto the side. The Valiant now trying to call the retreat.
It's not enough.
Will get picked off on the exit here. 45 seconds remaining. They make it up to 44.3%.
Gamsu just going to go and see if he can get a stagger kill. He's going to go right back and swap to the Reinhardt. He's going to try to build another Shatter here. I don't know if he'll have enough time. Only 35 seconds to go, but the pin potential here much stronger than what you're going to get with a Wrecking Ball. And now for the Valiant, in terms of tools, there's not a whole lot. They're going to have to live through this EMP without support ultimates and then somehow win a longer fight. They've done it before.
Well, there you go. Instantly jumping forward, catches 5. And that'll just be the cleanup coming through, so it seems like 44%. About as good as it's going to get here for the Valiant on point B.
They know where Kusta is. They've just got to track him down.
Just running around. Will not be able to make it over on point to force out that overtime. So Shanghai Dragons will be coming back in with 6 minutes to try to exceed that 44.3%.
Now, while we were watching Kusta on the point itself, Youngjin was knocking space away so that he could not tag at the front. They were trying to do a 2-pronged tag, and it was prevented. Kusta can't be too unhappy with that performance. After the long hold on A, they were still able to get 44%, and off his sound barrier that countered the first EMP, the second of such sound barriers he's used to nearly get, well, he got obviously the double cap on the first push, but the second one he almost got a cap off of his sound barrier, the first one being to counter the grab. So his sound barriers have been really well timed, and the Valiant are playing a good series right now. It's certainly winnable if they can have a good defense here on A. It's a long time, but we've seen time banks as big as this. We've seen time banks bigger than this on Paris.
Yeah, that we have. Shanghai Dragons, we'll see what they want to do. Valiant can kind of expect what is going to be coming at them. They will be running the same composition with Karib over onto that Ana instead of the Zenyatta.
Yeah. See if he can get a big bio grenade this time. I don't think we will see this Mei, and I don't think we'll see the Pharah either. I think they're just going to stick with what's been working for them, the Sombra variation. DM going to look for an opening pick, then we'll swap to the Zarya. As it goes.
To get that scout out.
Or,
okay. Showing us McCree.
Nah,
for
just,
no. Okay.
Or Doomfist Sombra.
All right. This is fine.
Some EU coaches
Okay,
are
just
getting upset.
Doomfist. What's it gonna be? Okay.
They've got so much time. They just wanted to make the EU coaches, the contenders coaches, upset for a second, but it's going to be okay. Now this push obviously is a lot about the bio grenade. Does not connect, it's blocked.
Oh, Karev. So far forward. Sliver of HP there. Will get healed back up very steadily, but Fiction taken down. Already, Shanghai Dragons breaking through the defense. Remember, they still will get that bonus 30 seconds after capping Ace. The time bank could be even a little bit larger here. Kamsu pushing around the back bench. The Mighty Bird is trying to squeeze himself up against that wall and become invisible and just hang tight for a while, but they get the punish, they get the cap.
You can run, but you can't hide. And the bio grenade once again does not connect. That's the crux of this defense. Ding on the Diva, and they prevent it from stopping their attack. And that they lose out on Transcendence potential here for the follow-up attack. DM does not have a Graviton Surge. Kariva is going to instantly swap to the Zenyatta because he knows there's a window where if they defend this first push, then he could get the trance and they could actually turn the ult economy on its head. It's a long shot, and it's a risk they took with the Ana, but now they're paying for it. Let's see if they can make this happen.
Pressure here for Valiant. It's going to be the rally coming out from either side. Space Loading knocked down to about half HP. That healing is just not fast enough, not powerful enough. They try to keep him in the mag. He'll be popped out. The Shatter from Kamsu going to be going wide, but DM nearly has that grab online. First one comes through from KSF. Now they have one in response. They slam it down right in front of each other. Bomb into the back for good measure. No one's there to get popped by it because everyone's already died. Custa up on the wall, does not last, does not stand a chance, nor does Space. And that will be Paris going the way of the Shanghai Dragons with still nearly 4.5 minutes to spare.
Very nicely done by the Shanghai Dragons. There were some shaky moments there on the defense, but the offense was clean. They shut down the bio grenades. They did exactly what they needed to. And it's a fast map of Paris despite the 4-3 score.
Yep, that it was. 2-0 the lead for the Shanghai Dragons. Can they close it out? We're going to find out when we come back after halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Огонь по готовности!
Apagando las luces. On fire. Anyone want to join me?
Огонь по готовности!
Pass into the iris.
Огонь по готовности! Огонь по готовности!
Nerf this. Allah till me.
The Shanghai Dragons are coming off their best stage in franchise history. And so far, they're picking up where they left off. They're currently up 2-0 over the hometown LA Valiant at the half. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena. We still got an awesome crowd that's wide awake after that Chengdu versus Guangzhou match. And now we're enjoying the Shanghai Dragons as they are really taking it to the LA Valiant. But we knew this was going to be a restart for the Valiant. They traded their main tank, Fate, to the Mayhem. They've brought in some of the players from the Mayhem Academy, in fact, Fiction, and maybe McGravy that we'll see later in this series. But let's talk about this game so far, guys. What have we seen from our two teams?
It's been a bit of a power pose, isn't it, from the Shanghai Dragons? Power pose came to mind because of the way I was standing. To be honest, I was like kind of just like.
Faction hasn't had the greatest game of his life. I'll say that. It hasn't made that much of an impact moving him into the lineup, I would say. And we were expecting, hoping perhaps that the LA Valiant might have a different style. But it started out, first death was him getting bashed and booped off the map. And it went a little bit like that for the rest of it. The LA Valiant are still playing a little passive. Faction's always got his shield up, always moving backwards the whole of the Valiant, not really taking aggression and making plays. And he is getting bullied. He's just getting destroyed by the Sombra, the Brigitte, the Lucio.
I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't expecting miracles from the Valiant squad with the new additions they made straight away off the bat. I mean, again, these kind of things, they take time. You need to develop chemistry, you need to develop a lot of strategies, you need to learn how to work with a lot of these new pieces you've got in your team. Consider the fact that they've been running with Fate for years, and now they've just taken them out and they're replacing them with Fiction. Like, that's a big switch up. It's a big change.
And the calls are changing as well. So, Josh, if you want to see the Valiant get more aggressive, who do you think should be leading the charge for this green team?
Well, I think it's more about trying to support Fiction here. Rather than him going backwards and backwards and backwards, it's on the Zarya and the D.Va to take more aggressive angles to put pressure on the enemy team as well. You can't allow the Reinhardt to keep moving forwards against you, so you have to push the rest of your team out to the flanks and make them push behind the Reinhardt shield, keep doing damage there, so that Gamsu's forced to back up instead.
All right, now looking at the Shanghai Dragons, this has been such a fun team to watch ever since Gamsu was added. I know he's been one of my favorite tanks to watch, but really it's Ding and DM whenever we're watching this team. What do they show you guys? What is this team showing everyone here?
Same old, same old. I think that this is the one team that plays the Sombra Goats, the Sombra triple tank, triple support. It's not really triple tank again, but it is very, very effective against some of these weaker teams that can't coordinate as well. I think Sombra takes advantage of that a lot of the time. You take one player out of the equation by disabling with the hack. It's easy pickings with most team fights, and the EMP as well. But the way that Ding's building this up is just monstrous. I mean, these teams are struggling to play around.
And DM is getting crazy value out of their grabs as well. The Shanghai Dragons look very coordinated. They look like they have a good game plan. They know how they want to execute. And DM, absolutely fantastic at being able to pick apart these slower-paced teams.
Now, coming into the day, we had 5 teams tied at 7-7. Dynasty got their win earlier, and now the Dragons are looking for their 8th win. But Josh, you said on the pre-show, this Shanghai Dragon squad that's currently in 10th, you think they deserve a spot in the top 4?
Yep, I think they're the 4th best team at the moment, and I think with this, the second easiest schedule in Stage 3, statistically, they should be proving it going forwards. Unless the Valiant can come back and reverse sweep here, they look good to take this one. They potentially look good to take the rematch. They don't have very many tough opponents throughout Stage 3. They should be hoping, they should be absolutely in the Stage 3 playoffs.
I will say as well, though, it says there they've got the second easiest schedule, essentially, statistically, right? But I don't think that's the case these days. There's been a big break between these teams. They're going up against Atlanta. Atlanta have looked better.
Right.
Going up against Valiant, again, it's going to be a rematch of this
These
match.
are slow teams. Shanghai's going to pick them to pieces like they are in this game. Ding's just going to have a field.
I've got faith in these teams,
In
which
who?
maybe I shouldn't have.
Brent,
to
out of
improve.
those 7 here in Stage 3, how many do Shanghai win?
I think they win 6.
6
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
7?
it's Gladiators who they lose to.
Okay, you talk
Contradicting all of his former
think
points.
there's
That is Brent,
there's
everybody.
potential.
That
There's
is
potential
Sideshow,
there.
and that is going to
There's
do it for our
potential.
halftime coverage. When we come back, we got a great Game 3. Don't go anywhere.
So one of the biggest challenges at the beginning was like to understand each other in game.
That was like really tough for me at the beginning because my English was like really poor.
Talking about strategy was kind of up. Most of the callouts in game were fine.
That everybody knows, even though you are not really comfortable in English, like left, right.
Forward, back, behind. That's easy. But when you got really get going deep in strategy, it's kind of tough.
Огонь по готовности! Огонь по готовности!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Shanghai Dragons currently up 2-0 here in this series. Valiant looking to fire back. It's been very aggressive from them, but a little too aggressive at times. Kariv's positioning on the Ana there on Paris, trying to get a Bionade, costs him their tank's life because he can't get in position to heal Fact Fiction. So there's potential here. It needs to be tightened up. Let's see if they can find their groove in the second half.
My biggest takeaway from Valiant so far is they came into the series very well prepared. They bring Fact Fiction in. They're playing an aggressive style, which works well against Sombra. They've got specifically Kariv set for the Ana on Paris. The execution doesn't look as good. It doesn't hit the mark. But you can see there's been a lot of preparation put into this series. We're heading to Numbani now for our hybrid map. Certainly a map we could see a lot of Sombra success with. It's been, historically a very strong Sombra map. But also, where we might see Kariv run the Ana again. It's not been subbed out. Izayaki has kind of fallen a bit behind in terms of play time in the last few matches. And I think that Kariv's experience really shows through. Izayaki may be perhaps the more fraggy Zenyatta, but I think that oftentimes what's more important is your transcendence timings, your positioning, and just your ability to call out ultimates and shot call.
I was really confused for a second. I thought you said fraggy Zenyatta because I thought you meant he was like fraggy and we just don't see him anymore.
Well, it's...
But now I understand what you're talking about, Wolf. Here we go.
Hey,
Valiant on the defense.
We're never going to see fraggy again.
Release him. Let him play. Anyway, Shanghai Dragons on the attack, changing things up. Ding going to be scouting out. Youngjin showing the Doom for now, and maybe sticking with it as GM flips over onto that Widowmaker.
Okay, looks like it's real. It's going to be Luffy's Ana with the Far Mercy Doomfist.
Attacking the point there for a moment.
There's so many lines of sight to be prepared for against this comp that, like, one of them is going to work out. You're going to get the Widow Snipe, you're going to get the Doomfist kill.
Oh, that's Custa taken down.
Best Widowmaker in the world, potentially right here.
Yeah. Won that Widowmaker showdown. Just jumped on there for a moment. They push toward another.
Like, where do you look? Where do you look? You can't turn around. The shield can't block both sides. You've got a Widow, you've got a Pharah.
You have to look everywhere and nowhere. I mean, just go into the fetal position and kind of give up right now, it would seem, for the Valiant. Shanghai Dragons, so many threats on all sides.
You're like, I gotta hold my shield up, but I gotta move out of the way because Youngjin's in my face. This composition that all the Chinese teams have been running since the beginning. Shanghai's adopted a little bit. We're seeing it adopted overall. It just attacks you from all angles. You really can't defend everything, especially in an open map like Numbani A.
Aggressive push forward here from Shanghai. Youngjin getting that punch, but not going to be leading to any kills. Getting a little bit of extra harassment coming through as he's just 30% away from that first Meteor Strike.
I think there's a real chance we'll see Shanghai swap after this attack if this doesn't get them a wipe.
Oh, misses the punch. Comes back in. He's looking for Kariv. One more shot. That's going to be the headshot coming in. You see Koma as well, just pushing forward, making sure that he can keep him topped up. So far, Kart's still going to be rolling through.
Minefield?
Up over the top. Minefield is ready to go. He can just hold on to it because Youngkin's just killing everybody. He's just dead before the Meteor Strike comes in.
Well, I mean, look, this comp is going to work until it doesn't, and when it doesn't, they're going to swap to 3-3. Like, as long as this is just getting kills and you don't have to use ultimates, the Meteor Strike wasn't even absolutely necessary there. It was just for Youngjin to keep himself alive to be safe. As long as it just keeps getting you kills and you keep wiping, it's great. Look, you put this here so they can't contest.
Yep, punch instantly coming through. Space drops down on top of those mines, gets knocked out. Barrage gets a double kill. Ding will get taken down, but it doesn't matter. Give it a nice little wave before he cleans them up. Shanghai Dragons absolutely steamrolling, as you say, likely to swap after the point. They go ahead, get that push in. Will just be that Sombra Goats coming through, as Ding will be sticking through with it.
Youngjin is one of the OG Doomfists in Korea, and he is, every time you see him lock it in, you get a little bit terrified if you're spectating him, but he actually used it for real this time after teasing us for 2 maps. Now you've got the threat of the EMP grab again. Putting so much pressure on Kariv.
Shadow nearly up here, Fact Fiction. I mean, they need to bleed some of this time off the clock here. Bomb thrown into the back, unable to find anything. Fact Fiction takes so much damage that he just has to raise the shield again. Can't try to go for a Shadow to set up the bomb.
Ding is just gonna charge EMP. You know, that's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to get backline hacks, he's just trying to shoot people and build charge.
Forward rally out. Obviously takes a little bit. Thinks she's gonna pop space out of the back, it would seem. But Karib killing off GM is a very good look for the Valiant. That does buy them a crucial bit of time.
The evolution of Sombra has been pretty interesting to see. You know, we used to see Sombras just try to hack the tanks, hack the front line, get kills while building EMP. Nowadays, you just farm EMP. You sit back, you shoot people from behind, you farm off the D.Va, you farm off anyone who's in line of sight. He's just gonna build the last bit of the EMP to pop it here. Watch this. Karib. Oh, the stun!
And that time the follow-up is there. Karib from behind has the orbs coming through, and Ding does get taken down. So Shanghai, even though they pick off agilities with a fire strike, have to wait for that Sombra to rejoin. They get back quickly, so the rest of the team will start aggressing.
Yeah,
they push forward here.
Karib needs to make sure he's not caught.
Back fiction as well. That's why he's peeling all the way back. KSF gonna be taken out.
Custa's super far away to also make sure he's not caught by EMP, but he's not giving them speed, he's not giving them healing.
He's playing around that back room with sliver of health. Finally gonna get top back up as he jumps into the spawn room. We're just a couple meters away. Everyone's coming out to one side. And that is just gonna be the cleanup.
Huge
Dragons, they roll in.
Huge mistake by the Valiant. They were so afraid of the EMP, they were all playing back. It's the fear of the EMP, they all play back. They're all seen, and all it takes is one grab, and no one can move out because they're all in one place. Custa's too far away, he's on the other side. He was trying to set up for that sound barrier. You could see the frustration on Fact Fiction's face. This is not how he saw his second debut in Overwatch League going.
Yep, 3 minutes 16 on the clock for Shanghai Dragons again. Let's see how the Valiant do on their attack when we come back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Shanghai Dragons with another successful attack, this time on Numbani. Able to finish the map with 3 minutes and 16 seconds in the time bank.
This is Shanghai's series to lose, it really is. I mean, they have taken the reins ever since we came into the first attack on Paris. Now they are dominating. The fear of the EMP is so real. Costa's hiding on one side, Karib's hiding on the other. They're all back when they lose one member. And then the grab ends their even attempt to stagger. They could have easily brought with the ultimates they had at least 30 to 40 seconds, and that's worst case scenario if they flubbed all their ultimates. The EMP wasn't even used.
Yep.
And it's a tragedy, it really is.
I mean, the Dragons lost 4 lives in that map.
Yeah.
So far.
That's right.
Only died 4 times to the 19 of the Valiant. So it has been very clean play so far from the Dragons. Let's see how their defense goes. As unsurprisingly, Valiant's just going to be pushing forward with the 3-3. Somewhat surprisingly, though, Ding back over onto the D.Va. Not going to be seeing the Sombra here for defense.
Yeah, just going to be using more high ground, low ground mobility and using the high ground control with the Winston here, the more standard Numbani defense, popularized by teams like New York and Seoul. And you just put the bubble on Gamsu. As you can see, he builds a ton of charge for his ult and for the Zarya.
Move up the high ground, the short hop comes through. Back Fiction gonna be taken down and Space knocked out.
So let me just explain this as the Valiant gets staggered here. Gamsu gets the bubble, so any damage that goes into him is absorbed and also builds charge for DM. DM then does more damage, while Gamsu is doing damage in a choke, which is AoE. He has a Primal Rage. DM has 85% of his ult charge in one defense. That's why this is so popular on this map. If they try to go through this choke, you jump, you do the extra damage, you got the AoE, you're building so much charge, it's win, 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 win. And the Valiant are gonna have to take a different approach angle, I think, here, especially with Primal now available. They might find themselves locked in.
Yep, just gonna be popping that bubble there. Quickly timed, absorbs the Fire Strike. Waiting for his moment. Back Fiction, so dangerously low, high energy, stunned up, pushed off the high ground and taken down in midair by Youngjin. Another reset coming through. Remember, this is match point effectively for the Valiant. Need to get a victory here on Numbani. They're trying to keep their hopes alive. Otherwise, Shanghai looking for that 3-0. DM oversteps. Let's get taken down, as does Gamsu. So suddenly, fighting chance here for the Valiant. Curve will get taken down. Space knocked out. Uses out the self-destruct to try to make it back in so they can continue the push forward over towards the point.
Almost had some flashbacks to the Shock playoff series from that one. But they do not fully overextend this time. They keep the ultimates. Kareev has the Transcendence. They should be able to. They can stick onto this point, deal with the grab.
He's gonna get knocked out of that mech in mid-air. Down barrier coming through the bomb, unable to find anything. Grabs out from either side. Back Fiction going lower, taken down by Youngjin. Now KSF eliminated as well. Cleanup will be there. Valiant, they get close to taking a tick, but they cannot get across that line. A minute and 37 remaining. Shanghai Dragons looking for the full hold.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this situation here for the Valiant now, they have a Shatter, which is almost impossible to use because they're not going to be able to get through this staircase. If they try to take the wide path on the low ground, not going to get value out of that either. Trance might be used to get them into a favorable position, but then you've got Gamsu who can knock them off if they try to take the left approach.
Well, good luck. Repeat, they know exactly where Gamsu's going to be this time. The Primal Rage will be coming down. Shatter out. Not going to be able to find anything. Gamsu goes low. Trying to steadily heal back up. Now trying to get that knockoff for the charge. It's Back Fiction all the way back over towards the main strip here. Transcendence out from Kareev. Lovely using his as well. Healing ultimates. Not going to be there for either side now. Bomb coming down. Space dropping it right inside, but everybody moves outside. Keeps himself safe. So far, no kills to be found.
Two frontline tanks, two different sides of the map. The Diva in the middle. And the Shanghai Dragons just pull the team apart, despite Gamsu going low. And now they don't have a Transcendence. The Shatter is gone.
Push up from the backside there. Trying to disrupt him a little bit, but the grab now going to be coming through. Say high energy for DM, just lob it in the right clicks. And that is just the Valiant wiped off the face of Numbani again. 14 seconds remaining. Space gonna have to try to get a tag, but it's just not gonna happen. He's all the way back here. Primal Rage coming through just to disrupt as much as humanly possible. 4 seconds remaining, rolling their way in. Agilities will be able to make it over to the point because they're gonna be joining him as well. Space has been popped out and Agility's stunned, taken down. And it'll just be another bleed out here. The members of the Valiant is one after the other. They get taken down. OT ticking away, and that is it. Shanghai Dragons, they close out Numbani. They take the series with a 3-0.
This is a really good look for Shanghai right now. I don't know if I agree top 4 with Sideshow, but I mean, they look unstoppable. Yeah, they look unstoppable right now with this Sombra. We'll see what happens when they face tougher opponents later on.
And we'll see what happens in our final map of this series and of the night when we come back from the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more map for you this evening. Watch Point Gibraltar getting ready to come up, but for the Valiant, does not lead to any chance at a victory. They can get one map win, perhaps, but the series is already gone the way of Shanghai after that 3-0.
You know, this is, again, an altered Valiant, right? They brought Fact Fiction in. Fate is gone, and a lot of people are wondering, why did that happen? You know, Fate looked like he might have been the better main tank just because I watched 3 games and I know what I'm talking about, right? Like, a lot of people are saying that. We won't know for a long time whether that ends up being the case, but what we do know is that Fact Fiction is a player with a lot of experience. He's a Western player and can communicate with this roster that's now mostly Western a lot easier than Fate can potentially, and that's why some of these trades were made. You would have to argue, right? So I look at this new roster, I see Kariv in the, you know, in the Zenyatta seat right now. He's playing some Ana. People are wondering, where is Izayaki? I don't know if this was a good trade. I think we can't draw so many conclusions from 3 maps or even 4. If Shanghai Dragons closes out with a 4-0, it's going to take time. The problem is that Valiant doesn't have time. 3-11, and the more losses stack up this stage, the less likely it becomes they go to playoffs. So I know that's why everyone's anxious and everyone wants results now in their first series with Fact Fiction, but I think we have to put the brakes on a little bit tonight. Let's see how they close this one out.
On the attack, Shanghai Dragons, though, as we get ready to dive into Gibraltar. Scouting out a little bit. Youngjin for now showing us that Doomfist again. Ding. No Sombra, but this time it's going to be the Pharah.
Love to see Youngjin on the Doomfist on Gibraltar every time.
You can tell he's thinking about going in for that seismic slam down in the underpass. He's like, I'll just play up top for now.
Ooh, that's not where you want to be, by the way, against the Doomfist in that corner. They got to get out of there.
Drop down, going to be coming through. Misses the punch. Trying to escape, makes it up onto the high ground, dangerously low with only 88 HP remaining.
Uh-oh,
got a
space.
Got a punch ready to go. Oh, the bubble coming in right at the last second. Armor pack in, but they still will be able to pop him out. DM with the storm arrows, coming up with that one. Now, getting pitched from both sides. It's gonna be Fact Fiction taken down, and you know,
that room is
I feel like I talk about this a lot. Every time I've seen a team go into that room, it's maybe worked once on the defense.
I was just going to say, well, we got some time to talk about this, it looks like. I was just going to say that that room is not a safe haven, usually. It's a meat grinder. It doesn't go well for you when you go in there. It is...
don't do it.
Sometimes you don't have a choice, because if you try to operate, if you try to get out, like if you go back towards point A, then you get stuck and half your team is caught in there, then you lose 3 members while you're trying to leave the center.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, obviously, it's better to play around the health pack because one of your members is about to get low. You can get that mega pack. But usually, as you say, you get out-positioned. You're fighting into a concave of heroes that are, basically doing more AoE damage, getting more value.
Yeah.
So
you're putting yourself in a position where you have walls on 3 sides of you. So the Doomfist can just have a field day with it. The Pharah can still get a little bit of damage in, even though the splash has been reduced. But, I mean, already a very rough start. You can see the pause coming through here from the side of Youngjin, so having a couple issues, it would seem. Maybe he's just upset that he missed that one rocket punch in the back.
I mean, you wouldn't know it, would you, from watching his play, that he had any sort of technical issue. But,
yeah. But, I mean, this is a really rough start, a bad omen for the Valiant here on Gibraltar. Going to have to really stabilize as we do jump back into that game. For now, we'll be looking at a replay.
Yeah, look at, this is the meat grinder I was talking about. I mean, no one can get out of here. This is just not even necessary, let's be real.
Yeah.
He almost gets taken out by Kariv.
Almost took himself out as well. He got a little bit of smash damage coming off the rockets on the wall, but manages to stay alive, picks himself up a double kill. He said it wasn't even necessary. It's kind of just style points almost at this point from Ding. Been having a fantastic series and really making an argument for player of the match for himself.
Oh, certainly so. Well, in the heat of the moment, no matter how well you're doing, you got to make sure that your peripherals are working well. Any sort of small issue, even if you get the kills, you want to play at the perfect conditions all the time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
For the Valiant here, they got caught in that room. I still stand by what I was saying earlier. I don't think if they backed off, they would have been any better off because they would have got cut in half. It's kind of a lose-lose situation there. And they did end up getting slaughtered there. Now it's a free push to A. ult economy kind of reset for the Dragons because they used a lot there. But at the end of the day, the Valiant are going to have to rush back, and they don't have a lot of tools to stop this composition, and they're going to be out in the open, which is even worse.
Yeah, I mean, don't directly recall what the ult economy looks like right now for the Valiant. Now taking a quick glance as the pause will be released. You can see some swaps going to be coming in, so even further away from some of those ultimates. The closest one's going to be KSF with a grab, but even then, still about 35% more to go.
Oh, look at this angle!
Thrown in, DM, knowing pretty much exactly where they were going to be coming from. Softens him up a little bit, but doesn't lead to any kills directly. Grim getting tagged, nearly taken down. Sliver HP remaining for him, and Agility's going to be taking a nap. Charges up the punch, clips the cart though. Can't get that hit, and the Ding's been eliminated. So Valiant, maybe they can stabilize here.
Ooh, he's taken out.
Yeah, punch into the charge the Res already used here onto Ding to put it back into the sky. Approaching another barrage. It's gonna be the sound barrier coming through now from Kusa. Snacked in with that coalescence here from Kariv.
Super huge. They stopped him from using his ultimate, the Doomfist, because that would have bought a lot of time.
Yep.
Kariv's probably going to go swap now. That was just an emergency jump over to the Moira, and he got the coalescence there.
It was very nicely done. They actually do manage to stop this cart. And now the rollback going to begin.
The biggest ultimate the Dragons had was the Barrage. It was the only one they used in the previous swipe. That's why I said it was reset, because there wasn't much to use there outside of Doomfist, which got shut down. Ding's just going to look to hack the backline.
Yep, Hack going to go forward on a KSF. Cannot use that grab right now, but can they finish him off? Before it comes back through, he's getting tagged up quite a lot. Back Fiction's going to be taken down. Grab does come through. It's not really netting them too much here. Don't need it, it would seem, as the kills do come in for the Valiant.
They panicked a little bit, I think, because the situation was looking really dire with Ding getting the hack, and there's so much threatening KSF's death, and DM was on the high ground with high energy doing so much damage. But the Valiant are really stabilizing here. You know, It was expensive what they did, but it was worth it at the end of the day, and they shut down another EMP push. Ding is going to have to, for a second time, come through here and build that charge.
Yeah, I mean, I said using that grab, didn't really need it, didn't really lead to much, but no one got really locked up in it, but they still managed to come out on top, so it's a good look for the Valiant as they try to maintain control. We're down to 50 seconds remaining here. EMP, oh, he got pushed back! He doesn't catch anybody with the EMP! Absolutely huge right there. Now Youngjin gonna be taken down.
This is massive.
A massive denial on that EMP. Ding gains nothing, nor does the rest of the Shanghai Dragons, other than death.
Huge play there, and now, you know, Kariv was at like 97% at that moment. And he wouldn't have been able to counter it if the EMP went off, but now they get a second lease on life. With a regular ability, they shut down one of the biggest ultimates Shanghai had. This is their last chance, and there's double support ultimates available for the Valiant.
The Earth Shatter ready to go from Gomsu. He's taking so much damage, and dug up in the corner to get the stun. Will be taken down. Transcendence from Luffy just a bit too late to try to keep that right in the fight. Now Ding gonna be eliminated. Transcendence expires. Oh, just for good measure, space. Go ahead, Nam, up that grab from DM. Shanghai Dragons, they started off exploding forward onto the map, but Valiant, they get those few swaps, the Roadhog, the Moira, they stabilize, and they hold it, full hold here on Gibraltar.
Full hold on Gibraltar, pretty rare too. And, you know, this is a full hold from a team that's 0-3 in this series. And it's off the back of the Moira swap. You mentioned the Roadhog coming through. They knew they had the spawn advantage, and they knew they could come back in fast building ultimates like the Coalescence, deal with that. Then we saw the shutdown of Mercy, and we saw the shutdown of the Doomfist ultimate.
Taking a look here.
Watch this again. This is the moment the EMP gets interrupted. Look at Ding.
Spots him out, pushes him back up onto the ledge, and that much distance not being down over top of him, no one gets hacked.
Say what you will about Agility's Brigida, that was a super clutch play, and Valiant fans should thank him, because without that play, very unlikely they hold A, because they didn't have a Transcendence available. Kariv was at about 97% at that moment. So that's the big moment. Great that we got to see that replay. Dragons are not out of this by any means, but again, it's very rare to see a full hold on A between two teams of this level of play. I mean, these are professional teams in the Overwatch League, so you see it every now and then, but gonna be sticking with the Sombra again. Surprise, surprise. Kariv may have an opportunity to swap to the Ana, given the open space on this map, even as the attacking team, but I think he really is looking towards the Transcendence overall.
I can say, see right there, second 4-0 ever if they can get an additional full hold here to shut down the Valiant. Thing just going to be poking down, trying to find Kariv. Not going to be able to kill him off like he did on Paris, it would seem. Back onto Custa though. Makes him a bit more susceptible to receiving some damage, but no one else from the Dragons can play this far forward and try to capitalize.
Notice how Ding plays this Sombra, by the way. He's not trying to kill anybody, particularly. I mean, he would if he could, but he's just building ult charge. He's at 62% already. That's the safest way to play Sombra. That's the modern way of playing Sombra. He's almost got an EMP ready before the first team fight has really started.
Push up here onto the high ground. Spy checking coming through Ding. Doing his best Neo impersonation, just kind of eluding all of those bullets flying in. Does stay hidden here for the moment. 80%.
They're avoiding
EMP.
Avoiding KSF as well.
Drop down coming in. Instant punish there on the Fact Fiction. Helpar just absolutely disappears. So Shanghai Dragons gonna be able to stabilize in a similar spot that we saw for the Valiant.
Let's talk about what the Dragons have been doing, because this is pretty cool. They're playing far back. Look at the ult charges of the Valiant. Overall, they haven't done much damage at all. Look at Fact Fiction, KSF, Custa, Space even. Shanghai Dragons are just avoiding them while having Ding harass the back and get ult charge, and then they just delay, do it again, delay, do it again. They get an opening pick with a drop down. Now they've got EMP. This is the most efficient way to hold a team, and now they can just drop down. Oh, spotted.
Oh, that was lucky there from Space, just kind of booped him. They're now aware.
They know there's no trance. They know he hasn't done enough damage.
A lot of damage coming through actually there from the side of the Dragons. EMP dumped in. It'll just be the cleanup here onto the Valiant. They still have 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, however.
This is really cool for the Dragons. So let's see if they do it again. Let's see if they just play far back and then have Ding harassed from the other side. Look at this. They pull back super far back. No one from the Valiant can do damage. They know KSF's nowhere near a grab. And then Ding's on the other side. See him far back there? You can see his silhouette. He's going to build EMP charge. And the Dragons are just going to sit super far away. And if they commit in, that's when they drop down and use their grab. Otherwise, they just keep building EMP. Such a patient style.
Well, rally out from Agilus as they start pushing their way forward. Kamsu going to be taken down. That's a really good start here for the Valiant. They try to get across that finish line. Transcendence out from Kariv keeps everybody topped up. And now it's going to be the self-destruct online here for Space to go ahead and push everyone away from that cart if need be.
The kill switch, they pressed it, man. They came in.
EMP in 10%. Ding needs that one online. Try to shut them down. That is going to be the grab coming through over near the entryway, and no one can touch. So the Valiant, they may not win this series, but they win the last map. Watch point Gibraltar goes their way, and Shanghai Dragons, they can't get their second 4-0 in history, but they will be able to start their stage 3 off with a win.
For Fact Fiction in particular, got to feel good about that last closeout. KSF gets the revenge. We remember the Shanghai Dragons had that grab hold on Numbani, and they're able to turn it on them there in the end, give them a taste of their own medicine on Gibraltar. Shanghai showcasing high-level Sombra throughout this series, and
throughout the season.
Throughout the season as well, but yeah, I mean, it just continues, and as that becomes more and more common, we'll see if other teams catch up in terms of Sombra coordination, or if Shanghai Dragons are able to pull ahead, because with the strength of schedule they have, or rather lack thereof, you could say, they are certainly on their way, step 1, to a Stage 3 playoffs.
That they are, and then from there, perhaps the season playoffs at the end of it all in September. But we'll see what happens as we move further in. It's just the first day. But guys, let's figure out who our player of the match is, presented by Omen by HP. And we're talking about it earlier. It makes sense. It's going to be Ding, able to scoop it up yet again.
Of course. I mean, so many plays from this guy throughout this series. On the Sombra, even on the D.Va, eating the bio grenade. And I mean, he's just one of those players that he eludes you. You don't know where he is. You don't know what type of EMP he's going to set up. We did see him on the far quite a bit as well, showcasing his hero pool. He's one of the better players in the league right now on Flex DPS, but he's also a D.Va player, right? I mean, he plays a little bit of everything, and when the meta calls for Sombra, he answers. Average time to ult, 68 seconds. An EMP a minute, practically.
Not bad, an 88 enemies hacked in the end of it all. So Ding looking quite good. The D.Va as well looking improved for him. That was, one of the weaker points. And almost a bit of a crutch, I think is super kind of put it for the Shanghai Dragons, that they kind of needed Ding on that Sombra, but the D.Va has looked much improved here today. But guys, that's just day one of stage 3 out of the way for us on the cast. We of course have the Watch Point post show coming up next, so make sure you stay tuned and tune in again for another day of Overwatch League action for me and Wolf. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later this week, Saturday, something like that. I don't know when we're working.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey man, what's up?
You need anything for today?
Nah man, I think I'm set.
Big day today, man?
Yeah, huge. Let's play some Overwatch.